Okay, I think I'm on. I just want to do a quick little video on the current states of the variants around the world. In the UK, the Delta variant, the B16172, is completely dominating the UK variant Alpha or B117. Um, you could see it's picking up in the USA and in Europe. And what you'll find over the next couple of months, it's going to really pick up in Europe because it's summer over there, and they're going to open up the shops and restaurants, and people are already quite complacent because they think that the vaccine is going to save them, which it won't. But one interesting thing I noticed about the Delta variant is that it's also dominating the South African variant, which they call Beta or B1351, which is its old name. So this may be a saving grace because Beta is potentially more dangerous than the Delta variant because it evades the immune response which is generated by a vaccine. In fact, the efficacy of AstraZeneca vaccine against beta is only 10%, which is really bad. I'm useless, in fact. So it may help us there, but I think that what we'll find is that of all the mix of the variants, all the mixes of vaccines and partially vaccinated countries, and the fact that still more than 10 million people are actively infected right now. The virus is constantly mutating and trying to find a new advantage, a way to get around the vaccines, a way to spread faster, um, uh, maybe even to kill more people. It could even uh, mutate so that it harms children more. So the only way we're going to get rid of the pandemic is to go for zero COVID. Um, and this can be achieved because the vaccine relies on it being spread from human to human. And if it's not spread, then uh, it, 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 um, it'll go away. So what we need to do is to stop travel, and when we go into lockdown, we've got to go into lockdown until we actually get to zero COVID. But what you find for a lot of countries in Europe, they've all got right down to like zero COVID, and then they open up, uh, when they get the cases right down, but not down to zero, and then it just grows again. The UK, for example, was down to something like 1,000 cases a day, and is now running at 27,000 cases a day. They just have to get down to zero, and when they get down to zero, they have to quarantine, which means that everyone coming into their country is then made to stay in quarantine for 21 days, not 14 days, because we know the British variant, for example, is infectious for up to 21 days. And I'm pretty certain that you'll find that the Indian variant Delta is also infectious for 21 days. For a long time, we thought that a virus is more infectious because it makes your body sort of produce a bigger viral load, which you then release into the air. But they can also be more infectious if the person is is infectious for longer. So the only way we're going to get out of this mess, I mean, with all these variants, vaccines, partially vaccinated people will generate new variants. So the only way to get around it is for everyone to go for zero COVID. And that is going to be the only way. We can't even vaccinate people fast enough. That What I mean by that is that you have to vaccinate people fast enough so that you don't want to get to the situation where you have to start to revaccinate the people that you have vaccinated. And I mean, that's the case in Australia. They they will never get to the point where they have vaccinated enough people. In fact, I think Australia never had to use a vaccine at all. All they had to do is close their border, wait until the world had settled down, let other countries go for zero COVID, and then start to form travel bubbles between countries of zero COVID, like Australia with New Zealand, then you add Singapore and Taiwan, and it just goes on and on. And this will be an incentive for countries to go to zero COVID. Vaccines will not solve the problem, will generate new variants, more dangerous variants, and like I said, we can't vaccinate the people fast enough. I calculated it's going to take some crazy thing like 10 years to vaccinate the world. So it's just impossible.